Moonlight as Remus Lupin.
Get on my level.
I'm Zachary David. I play Peter Pettigrew in the film. I'm also we're all actors in LA, so I think you say that all online, but yeah, I do that too. And you probably don't know me if you win anything.
My name is Mick Davis, and I play the young Severus Snape in Snape and the Marauders. You might also recognize me, or not at all, from doing Apocalypse and Thanos at Comic-Con and WonderCon. You might have seen me online doing both those characters. As well as Harper Down, which is right now. That's the lead creature. And this is one of the first big film roles I have where I'm not going to be covered in prosthetic makeup. So you actually get to see my face in this one.
It's a good face. My name's Garrett Frackhausen. I'm playing a young James Potter. I'm an actor in LA, and I'm watching this guy Harbinger now, which you guys should all be doing it as well. You might recognize me from standing up on the stage 3 minutes ago. In that trailer you saw at the beginning.
I'm Danny J. I play Lily Evans in Severus Snape and the Marauders. I do film, theater, and improv and comedy in LA, so you probably wouldn't have seen me in too many things except for here, but all of these fine gentlemen.
Hi, I'm Kevin Allen. I play young Sirius Black, and this is amazing. This is my first panel. I'm so stoked to be here. This is why I moved to LA to become an actor, so I can do awesome nerd movies and talk to awesome nerd fans. Amazing!
And I'm Dr. Janina Scarlett. I'm a psychologist, and I'm honored to be moderating this panel. And if you guys haven't seen the teaser yet on YouTube, it's gotten over 800,000 views in just a month that it's been out. 800,000. So congratulations, guys. That's pretty impressive.
Actually, I have to clarify, 500,000 of those are my mom and me. That's and her, so it is, but still very impressive. We're very lucky. I'm at least 100,000. Those just being like, oh my god, that's so cool. We play.
So I wanted to ask both Justin and also the rest of the actors what you guys think about this unexpected success of this fan film.
It's about accurate. I can't believe how quickly it got picked up. But I knew that Greater Good did really well, and that was a huge surprise. But I was surprised at just this little teaser trailer. Our goal was 100,000 views, and we got 8 times that so far, which is just unreal. But also BBC America picked us up, The Independent picked us up, Unilad, The Mirror, just everywhere in the UK picked us up, and we're like, is this real? We're like, kind of.
And they're stoked about it, which is also what's so cool, because we're a bunch of Yankees trying to take on Snape and the Marauders, you know, and so it's great. I'm just very flattered and humbled that everybody is taking to it so well, and people like yourselves are just really excited to see more Harry Potter stuff, and so are we. So, you know, we're as big of fans as anyone else is, and to see people kind of relate to that and be excited about it, it's just a dream come true. Yeah, I mean, that's the extra pressure with doing something like this, and already have such a dedicated
Oh, that's empty. Yeah, there you go. No!
You're dead, man.
her favorite color.
Probably warming up to you, eh?
I can only say that. No, like, but she, I don't know, she made me see things different. Like, maybe this was my favorite, but it's not really, I suppose.
It is not. Best thing we ever did was making that map. Like little myths and legends. That wouldn't be anything without me. Yeah, so you won't stop saying.
Imagine things are gonna change.
Yeah, sure. They build their own way to get jobs, bring us together.
I don't mean it like that. I mean with what's coming. Some might fight with us. Some might get killed. Some might fight against us. People who went to school were facing us on some battlefield. All I know is we're not going anywhere. And not one day does it have around us, so long as we're together. What if it's a friend facing us? Someone under the Imperious curse? Or worse, someone who wants to be there? Someone like Snape? Exactly. No, I mean, it's right there.
Kevin, Paul, and Zach for their first callback. They didn't need 5 minutes before I was convinced. They were so well put together. The first 3 minutes of the scene with the Marauders is pure improv. I just let them come up with the story and do it on their own because their chemistry was so good. So a couple of these guys already knew each other, but it didn't matter. These guys just acted like they were brothers. They were best friends. It was really, really amazing.
Yeah, and I think too, I'll speak for all of us. We were really excited to play these characters. It did not take a lot to be able to jump in and create that chemistry because this is a dream. I mean, we all share that fantasy. Janina was talking about it so beautifully earlier in her Psychology of Superheroes and Harry Potter panel. It's ingrained in all of us to want to live in these books and in these worlds. So to get an opportunity to do that was, I mean, it was a dream come true, man. It didn't take 30 seconds for me to be on board with this whole thing, you know?
I was afraid I wouldn't get to be. My first impression meeting with all of them was showed up for a callback, and it was a callback as a group so we could really see if the chemistry worked. And I get there and I meet Paul and Tuggy's spot on Remus, and then when Zach showed up as Peter.
Showed up late as Peter, by the way.
What?
Showed up late. Remember this traffic? The three of us were already all talking, and Zach walks in like 20 minutes late, and it's like, oh, you guys already know each other. This is cool.
So he put up the foursome, and I was like, oh, they're all perfect. I'm supposed to be the most handsome boy in the world. Oh, God. And then we got to actually doing the scene, and everyone was so just perfect throughout this. The whole scene that was supposed to be a 5-minute ad-lib went on for 20 minutes. It was mostly because Garrett as James and Paul as Remus were arguing so well with one another that I just like sat back and was like, I can't contribute to this. It's too good. I'm just gonna watch and enjoy it.
I was so happy to be there. I was in the callback. Justin was like, everybody's pretty much picked out. Like, we got Snape, we got Sirius, we definitely got like a Remus and a Peter, but there are 2 Jameses. So for the callback, you really got to break it. And I was like, okay, no pressure. That's cool. And so I showed up and he's like, so convince these guys that they should all go fight Snape. Good luck.
And you were so convincing.
Awesome.
It was
And I told Paul, like, convince everyone that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it was actually kind of intimidating because I had met Garrett, I had met Danny because I auditioned with both of them as we were like going through different people to be James and Lily, but I hadn't met all the Marauders together, like or the rest of the cast together until far after they'd already started like working together, practicing together. So I saw YouTube footage that Justin put up of everybody together, acting together before I actually met or worked with any of you. Like that was the first thing I saw from any of you guys. So appropriately so, you guys already have this sort of like brotherhood built up, and I was this outsider of home alone in my dark room watching you on YouTube just thinking, yeah, we were a pretty strong bond. I was like, oh, when we meet him, we're gonna gang up on him so high. We're gonna have all these inside jokes, and he's not gonna get any of them. But they have my own one-person inside jokes, just trump all of you.
So I have a question for Justin. This project was such a major undertaking. It took such a long time and so much effort and so many resources. And I was wondering, can you tell us about your motivation about making a Harry Potter fan film like this one?
Sure. I mean, I made a short film in college. It was my thesis, and it did pretty well. It went to like close to a dozen film festivals, but I didn't make any real connections. It didn't get noticed the way that I was hoping, and because the market is so deluged with original short films that really can't sell, people are interested in feature films, and I knew I wasn't ready to make a feature yet. After Snape and Marauders, I can't whatever. But I said, if I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to do something that will get noticed. And then I saw a fan film based off the video game Portal called Portal No Escape. It's directed by a guy named Dan Trachtenberg. Got 15 million views in the first 6 months. It got so much attention, and he got a picture deal with Universal Studios because of it. So that was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I was trying to decide on the franchise I wanted to do because I'm a pretty big nerd. I love everything. I love Star Trek, Star Wars, but I did Star Wars parody when I was in college. I was like, I'm done with it. Star Trek is too expensive to do right unless you come up with something really special. You gotta have the bridge, you gotta have the uniforms, you gotta have the ships.
you're allowed to say.
It was fun to put together the puzzle. I like puzzles that I consider young, Sirius Black, and there's a lot of clues, obviously, from the books and then even from the films, and I included the films and Gary Oldman's performance in my own performance because J.K. Rowling went on record saying that she thought Gary Oldman was the most accurate performer. So I was like, well, I can't go against what she says, so I took snippets of what was in the books from Gary Oldman. I tried to incorporate Ron's relationship to Harry, feeling Sirius's relationship to James. I tried to consider Harry's relationship to Hogwarts and Sirius's relationship to Hogwarts. Because in the same way, Harry didn't get along with his family. He was considered to be like the wrong kid until he went to this magical school and suddenly he discovered himself after being sort of a Gryffindor. And then to fill in any gaps, I consulted like what the fans had to say. I wanted to look up everything from like fan interpretations of like their musical playlist to fan art, and like I even experimented with what my facial hair would have looked like because I wanted to make sure I had what the fans envisioned young Sirius as. And then obviously threw in elements that resonated with me. And finally I just had this patchwork idea of what young Sirius was like before he went to Azkaban and completely changed after that. It was a mystery, and having the fans kind of help me guide to what I thought was a happy medium and accurate, I guess.
Lily was also a puzzle for me, but I didn't have as many pieces as Kevin did for Sirius. I kind of had to rely a lot on the fans. I went to forums, I was reading a lot, I was reading about different smelling aspects, different hairstyles, like you said, that she went through, that the fans were drawn to her. And so I kind of comprised what my interpretation of all that was into my character. I love making her story that is known for coming from Hogwarts, and then just kind of expanding on it with what Justin's given us in the script, and trying to make firm decisions on how she felt about James, what was her reason for going into that relationship, things like that. So it was really about being decisive with my character and just making firm choices for what I thought Lily would end up being like, and would end up being the reasons why she chose to be the person that she is as an adult, things that shaped her in her childhood.
I'm not very good at puzzles. It's kind of frustrating to take a long time. But I love books. I am such a book nerd. And I just love delving into just a person and how they become that person. I'm sorry. I don't know. I like Harry Potter because it's a very grounded story, you know, and for James, I don't know how to do magic, but I know what it's like to graduate from a school and not feel like you know what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And I feel like James has got all these friends and he's the coolest kid on campus, he's so awesome, but he wants to do something with his life and he needs to find something to fight for, a reason to be who he is. So instead of like looking out and looking around, I looked kind of into myself and I thought, what would I do if I were this person? And I enjoyed sort of pulling out the psyche of like, you just graduated, you're trying to figure out what to do with the rest of your life, and what do you really want to fight for? So for me, this short film, it's about James figuring out what kind of person he wants to be as an adult, and like how he wants to help society. So that's where my character's coming from, that's what I enjoy.
I was presented a really interesting challenge for playing Severus in this film because first off, like, absolutely love Alan Rickman's portrayal in the film. It's like an absolute genius, brilliant performance from him. And Severus Snape himself, I love him in the books. He's one of my favorite characters in the books because of that line detail, that gray area being this like great anti-hero character that had all these complexities. But at the same time, who that character is in the books and in the films is a completely different character than who he was before these events took place. Almost everything that defines who he is, his complexities, his sort of isolated coldness, the way he treats people at that point, is almost a direct result of everything that happens to him in this film and in the events leading up to the first book, everything that happens between that period. So the challenge for this was discovering who Severus Snape was before he basically loses everything he tries to live for. And, you know, by the time we meet him in the Sorcerer's Stone, he's lost Lily, as we discover later on in the who was he at 18 and 19? And what are the differences of his character? Who was he before everything in his life kind of took this chaotic turn? So it was a fun character to explore because it was really an entirely new Severus Snape we've seen.
I was dealt kind of an interesting hand with Peter Pettigrew because he's one of the most universally disliked characters in the world. And it's justified. It's totally justified because of all the terrible things that he does. All of those things happen after this story that we're telling. So I had an opportunity to see him in a fresh light, and where he's not necessarily a person that you despise. He might have good qualities, does have good qualities, and he hasn't yet been driven to do horrible things yet. So it was just nice to explore someone that is familiar to people, but at the same time I can be not familiar because it's just not that person. I spent a lot of time howling naked in my backyard at the moon to get ready for this role.
That's true.
But
We have the video footage. Make sure to
wait till the next convention footage we release. But Remus is a man who I think is a voice of reason for his friend circles and for a lot of Harry's life later when he's teaching dark arts at Hogwarts. And I think that's because Remus is has such an unreasonable and chaotic condition thrust upon him, in that he is constantly at terms with the man he is, who is this kind, gentle, thoughtful person, and then the monster that he becomes, depending on the circumstances and how difficult that is. And particularly at this time, this is such a, like all these guys said, we really got a gift here because we got to explore characters that don't have as many details as a lot of the rest of the world of Harry Potter. And what I kind of came to find is that I think Remus is extremely close to Snape in these times. The only difference is Remus has friends, and I think that's such an unfortunate duality there. And you see in the 3 minutes that we showed you that debate of like James talking to me and saying, we're going to be fine. This is the start of something great and something new. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a lot of bad stuff happening in the world right now, and we need to take that into consideration. And I think there's a lot of hesitation with Remus to participate in some of the things that he sees the rest of his friends doing, particularly involving Snape. But at the end of the day, he doesn't want to lose those people that are so close to him and have been so important to him, finding that acceptance that he never thought he could get. So I hope you all get to see that in the film. I've tried kind of to bring that across, but and the latent werewolf tendencies as well. You'll see me scratching behind my ear constantly. But yeah, no. So it was.
I wasn't laughing.
But yeah, a lot of melted chocolate bars in my pockets.
I was just going to say that he's talking about the debate between James and Remus. You guys didn't see that. I didn't want to show that. But every actor gets their moment to shine in this movie. But when they're debating about what to do about Snape, that's when Paul and Harry really shine. They're so good.
That's been one of the biggest questions we've been getting asked a lot is, who's the good guy in the film? Who's the bad guy? Are we veering more towards Snape? Are we veering more towards the Marauders? The question is, the answer is there is no good guy or villain in this film. This is, everybody in this film is caught in this very difficult and complicated situation. While they are, butting heads and, it gets really intense, there is no person in this film except Lily who is perfect. That's true. And as far as the thing between Snape and Severus Snape and the Marauders and everybody like that, we don't skew towards one side in this film. It is very neutral. We kind of leave it up to the audience to decide once they're watching it who they want to side with. There's no perfect character in this film. Everyone has their flaws. Everyone has their strengths. So we try to take a very neutral standpoint, just tell the story without being biased in any way towards whatever character.
And without breaking canon.
And without breaking canon.
bullying or might be experiencing that right now?
Snape being bullied, the biggest effect that it had on him is he made profoundly bad decisions. And he later came to regret those decisions profoundly, and then, as we all know, for 7 books it was very ambiguous, but we came to find out that he was doing the right thing. Not even begrudgingly. Some can debate that he was being a not nice guy because he had to, and others because he hated what Harry looked like. He looked like James, but he also looked like Lily. Because of his abusive father, and because of the abuse that he got from the Marauders, which he returned in kind, he developed a serious amount of resentment, and it came back to bite him. He called Lily a racist slur, and he lost his only real friend. He joined the Death Eaters. He decided to because he decided to join the Death Eaters, he decided to mention Trelawney's prophecy to Voldemort, which inadvertently got Lily killed. At the same time, he asked Voldemort to please spare Lily, which inadvertently caused Lily to gain the magic she needed to protect Harry. So it's a complicated list of reasons as to how bullying affected Snape both in the short term and in the long term, and how it turned him into a good person. But for a while there, he was not a good person. He just wasn't, period. He was incredibly conflicted, but he was mostly on the not so good side. So really poor choices that eventually led to greater good choices is what came from his bullying. For me, I bullied my brothers, and I'm not proud of it. I got bullied a lot by classmates. And what I learned from that is that kindness, but also a sense of sternness will really help you in your life. Standing up for yourself, but not in a way that's going to get you in trouble. Learning to get respect. How you do that? All kinds of answers. I couldn't say.
Wow, yeah, totally. I don't have much to follow that, but I mean, for me, it's one of my favorite parts of Harry Potter. What's the most powerful magic of all? Love. You know, it's love, Harry. Like, you know, Dumbledore's in there, and then the crazy white room, and Harry Potter's like, what's gonna happen? And he's like, it's gonna be okay. People love you. And I think that's really the bottom line, too, is that, like, love is the most powerful magic we have. And until we figure out this whole wand stuff, that's really the most important thing. And look, here we are at this anti-bullying convention. That's really what this is, isn't it? It's just a celebration of who you are, be who you are, love what you love, and do what you want to do, and get stoked when other people are doing those things too. So that was my favorite thing about it. Yeah. Get stoked about stuff, especially.
Alright, I'll follow that. It's easy to do.
This brand of humor is evidence.
All downhill from there. Bullying is bad.
So guys, we have time for one more comment. And then unfortunately we have to wrap it up.
I was gonna say, like, I identified Robert Snape's character because I was bullied mercilessly when I was in school. Like, continuously, like, middle school was one of the worst 3 years of my life because of this. And the thing that I really discovered in it is that what bullies look for is insecurity. Because bullies are, for all intents and purposes, cowards. They don't go for somebody who they feel is going to talk back to them. They don't go for somebody who's showing any strength. They try to go for somebody who's already feeling bad, already feeling insecure about who they are. And they pick on that, they go for that, because bullies are, without a doubt, cowards. And I discovered that the bullying for me only stopped once I fully embraced who I was, what I was interested in, what things meant, what things meant most to me, and held on to those tightly. So at that point, once I had so much confidence in who I was, what I was interested in, and what I represented, there was nothing that anybody could do to hurt me in any way, whether unless you're like physically attacking me. As far as words or any sort of emotional abuse that I could possibly go under, I'm bulletproof at that point, because there's nothing they can say to me once I kind of held these interests and held these morals and held these like pieces of myself strong enough we're right here